Hello, Michelle Kilman, your dependable lender for residential mortgages. Today I'm going to talk to you about 3 ways a cash out refinance makes sense. And first, let me tell you just a little bit about a cash out refinance. And so what a cash out refinance is that you can borrow between 80 and 85% of your current home's equity. And how we determine your equity is we look at the value of your property and we look at whatever loans you have on it right now. And then whatever's in between there, we can borrow 80 to 85% of that. And so I just wanted to give you a little background on that, but that is not the entire purpose of this video. So let's get into the ways that it makes sense. So the first one would be to consolidate debt. And so there are a lot of high interest rate credit cards out there. There are a lot of high balances out there. And so if you're someone that has both a lot of credit cards and a lot of high balances, it might make sense to do a cash out refinance. Reason is that we're going to pay off those high interest rate credit cards. You're going to have it all into one lower monthly payment than you've been before. And it's going to be at a lower interest rate. A mortgage interest rate right now is definitely lower than credit card interest rate. So if you do have a lot of that, it can make sense. Also, you can consolidate a HELOC or HELoan if you have one of those going on. Usually those carry higher interest rates as well than a typical mortgage. And so maybe that's something that we can get rid of as well. HELOCs are also variable interest rate. And so if you're somebody that's hit that variable interest rate period, you might not be too happy with that. And you might want to switch that to a fixed rate instead or want to. And so that's something that we can visit as well in a consolidation. The second reason that it would make sense to do a cash out refinance is to improve your property. So if you are wanting to do some renovation on your property, you can do a cash out refinance and use that money to do so. It's when you're done with that work, it's going to help raise the value of your property, which in turn will help you gain more equity further down the line. You can also write off and get a tax deduction for improvements that are made on your property using that money on your next federal tax deduction that you file. And then the third way a cash out refinance makes sense is to pay for college. This is something that I'm currently dealing with. I'm looking for new ways to pay for college. My son's actually starting this fall. And so it can make sense if you're running into personal loans, if you're running into HELoans, if you're running into HELOCs that are having a higher interest rate, maybe you have a high fees to get started in that type of loan. Maybe doing a cash out refinance might make sense instead to get that college paid for. So if you want to see any of these scenarios and what it would look like for you, I offer free consultations. So please reach out and let's get one scheduled and see if the numbers make sense.